everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Ventures. Today we are going to be taking a look at the furniture making business. Is it lucrative? Is there an incentive? Are there young people who are interested? Are there older people to show them the way? That is what we are going to be looking at on this edition of the program. Do stay with us on Ventures. Don't go anywhere. Welcome to the interview segment of Ventures, and on this segment today we're going to be talking to someone who is into the furniture business. We have in the studio to tell us more about this sector, Mr. Okosodo Friday.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Okosodo Friday, how long have you been in the furniture making business?
Thank you. I would say about 25 years now I've been into this business.
25 years?
Yes.
So how did you start?
In short, it was just like a born passion within me. Even while I was in school in Kaduna, once I'm back from school, I gather whatever wood I have around, I start to create. So after schooling, I just felt that this is what I love doing. So I get into it, take us some years, I land the job, and I enjoy what I do. I started.
So how did you grow? Did you start with one shop, or you just all at once just knew that apprenticeship? How does it work? What are the steps?
Yeah, thank you. Even as soon as I finished learning, I found out that people everywhere, people that knows me around, they started calling me for one job or the other. I worked from one office to the other. So at the time, the job was much. I had to get some hands to join me. Then where I was working, and I have the challenge of space. That's made me to now look for a shop somewhere. I started with that shop. At the time, the business was growing. I have to look for a better place. Then start having branches.
Okay, so now how many branches do you have?
I have about 3 branches.
And they're spread within the FCT?
I have 2 in Abuja and 1 in Kaduna.
All right. And how many people do you employ?
Apart from my staff, I call them sales girls, I have about 8 workers who works under me.
In the furniture business?
Yes.
So do you have a training scheme program? Do you train? Do you now also allow others to be apprentices under you?
Yeah, why not?
So how does it work?
Yes, people come in, mostly this coronavirus era. Many parents brought in their children. So we train them, we teach them, and they love the job. And
do you think that a lot of young Nigerians are interested in furniture business?
Not Nigerians per se.
Young ones. I'm thinking of the youths now.
Yeah, the youth, actually they are coming up. Only that once I get an apprentice, I always ask them, I hope it's not your parents that is driving you to this trade.
Yes.
I want people that are passionate, who know what they've come to do. And when I get such an apprentice, I really work with them. But those who are pushed into the job, whether because they fail in the academic world, you see, they are not always serious. But those who have the passion, I think they do well and they are ready to continue with the trade.
And you know, these days, young people especially, they think of the profit margins. How much will I get from this? There's this drive to see, what is this business about? Will it bring me profit immediately? How long do I have to take before I begin to see profit? These kind of things. Do you encounter that too in the furniture industry? Actually,
if you know what you are doing, there's money in furniture making. Once you are able to satisfy your clients, in terms of quality, in terms of timing, I want to assure you, once that trust is there between you and your clients, you go far, you make money. So many who has made it today just because of that trust and timing and quality.
These are the key elements.
Yes, if you keep to time and your qualities are good, you are reliable, you make money in the furniture business.
So, and then there's this thing that I know Nigerians with artisans. We fear carpenters, we fear dressmakers, tailors, we fear mechanics, artisans. As you brought up the issue of integrity, trust, why is it that it's difficult for us to find trustworthy artisans in Nigeria?
Yes, here I would say we have trustworthy artisans. Like one day I myself, I asked the same question to a mechanic this time. He told me that this thing that got spoiled, if you use 3 minutes to solve the problem, the person will end up giving him or her maybe 5,000 or 10,000 or so. So it took our time, delays, so just to make profits. As for we furniture makers, most of the time the fault is from the client. Maybe Mr. A say 10,000 and Mr. B, just because he needed money, he will charge 5. And the client goes for the one that is cheaper. Maybe by the time he starts the job and the money cannot make up, he start giving excuses. So, but with all this, we still have people that are trustworthy, people that know what they do, who are not moved by the finances involved. They make sure if the money is not enough, they tell you it's not enough, and they stand still.
Okay, so what you're saying is that there should be some kind of standards.
Yes.
If a table, a simple table is 2,000 here, across board furniture makers should have a standard that is every table of this size, give or take, should be 2,000 naira, so that there will be quality, there will be standard. But if someone is doing at 5,000 and it's poor quality, another person is doing the same thing at 10,000 but it's a better quality, more likely you will go to the one that is saying 5,000. Yes. That's exactly it.
Yes, we have qualities, and this varies. Like when you come to the wood technology, we have some wood that is specified just for roofing, for furnitures, for skeleton. And if you go for the cheaper one and you are making a skeleton, maybe for upholstery, definitely that settee won't last long. And because people like buying cheap products, and people that produce those cheap products go for the cheaper materials. And they seem to be making maybe much production. But at the last run, these people who they produce for don't come back. But if you give somebody a quality, it might be expensive. I want to tell you, as the person uses that furniture years after years, he comes back for that same person, and that person will strive and he will continue in production.
All right, there's a very big furniture industry here, especially in the FCT. What is there? Do you have associations that guide you? Is it compulsory to join these associations? How do you run the furniture industry, say, within the FCT?
Yes, almost every market, like our markets, I am the vice chairman.
Which of the markets is that?
You do furniture markets.
Okay.
We have cases of, just like the question you asked, of people not keeping to time. So we have regulations, we have law and order that guides us. Like if you make a settee, you're supposed to have at least a time. Say, within so time, at least you'll be able to enjoy the value for your money. If at that period of time there's any default on that chair, the customer has the right to return back. And we, the union, we take appropriate action against that individual. And we go around at times to sensitize our workers on the need to go for quality materials. And those who come to sell, we find out that what you sell is not to our standard, we stop you.
So you actually have some measure of control.
We coordinate, we control, yeah. Yes, yeah, we do that.
Okay, all right. So going forward, do you see what are the things that, first of all, I want to say, do you see the furniture business getting bigger in Nigeria? Secondly, what are the things that hinder the furniture business from growing?
Thank you for that question. As it is now, I see myself as if I have not even started, because every day I see more designs, more creativity coming up, and I want to strive. In short, we are building to the extent that we want to make sure people don't bother importing furnitures. We want to compete with the international world, and because of that, we are trying to get some machines, improve on our production, improve on our finishing, so that at least maybe with time, other countries will come in to export our own product. That's our goal.
Okay. What is hindering it?
Major thing, one, the government for now don't really see with the artisans. They don't carry us along. That's the truth. For now, you see that we still battle with space. We still battle tomorrow. You see, we are here. There is demolition. We move to another side. They were asked to pack. So most of the hindrance we have is that we don't always have a conducive environment. If you go to a market now, almost everybody has generator, and it's very noisy. Why? Because there's no electricity. It's not a kind of steady. So if we have assistance from that angle, where government give us a permanent place where we can call our own, we stay there, we make production at least.
You have steady power supply.
Yes, steady power supply with machinery. I think government can equally assist us. We have machines that can designs and do some things we see in other countries.
So actually Nigeria has the capacity.
We have the capacity. Very much, we have the capacity.
All right. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the things that you do? Which are like your favorite designs? What do you think? Which are the more popular designs in the market and all that? Well, how do you know which trend is selling? Is furniture making like fashion, for instance?
Yes. One thing I've observed with my years of experience, if you come to the market and everybody make, let me say, a product, almost every shop is
leather settee, for instance.
Yes, let's say settee. There's a product we call eleganza suit, for instance. And almost everybody produce that same design. It loses its value. What may I do personally, I make sure I don't do what everybody does. I go into the internet, browse, check. It might be simple, but something different from others. As soon as I see other people imitating it, I do a different design. And that has been helping me a lot. Right. That's what I do. Okay.
So I will just have to give a little bit of background to why Mr. Okosodo is in my studio today. He's on ventures because the first time I encountered Mr. Okosodo, he was building a set for NTA. How is the set building angle of your business? How is it going? Do you still build sets?
I still build. Like where I'm standing upon now, I build it. I think I did this building, let me say, while I was lying on my bed. I've never done this before. Where I land work, I was not trained how to build this gallery like this.
Yes.
So the day I was called to build this, I sat there in my house. While I was sleeping, I see myself building this stage. As soon as I came, I already know what to do. So most of the production, we build it at night while others are sleeping.
Your brain is working.
Yes, I work, train. As soon as I get to the market, I already know what to do. So that's what has been helping. No matter how difficult the job is, once I sleep, I get the solution, come out practical, then I put it through.
We are talking furniture on ventures, and it is a wide industry with innovations every day. We are going out to the field to find out what some people who are trying to be part of this large sector of the economy are doing to make themselves better. Stay with us on Ventures.
We signed 3 years with the master. So after when the 2 years reach, the date expired and I am free that day.
Then how long have you been free now? Have you been your own master?
For 10 years now.
Wow. How do you see the business?
Yeah. It's a good work, but it's not an easy thing to do because it takes strength to do it. Handwork is the best. The handwork can take you anywhere you want to go. Furniture work is a good thing to learn. You do it mostly in the house. Furniture is what takes place in the house mostly. So I think it's good for people to learn it.
How many people are you training now?
13.
Very, very nice. More than some other place I check. This place they are trying. Whatever you need is here.
How many bottles can you make in one day?
It depends on the quality that they need. Times this is 500. Times 200. It depends on the
And is it a good business?
Yes. It's a business that
are you an apprentice or you have already do your freedom?
I'm a master by myself.
How long did it take you to learn the work?
6 years.
You learn under a master here in Idu?
Yes.
So since when did you do freedom? How many years?
3 years ago.
I make furniture. Actually, this is my showroom. This is everything you see here is what I produce for myself. So I make furniture and make sure we make quality furniture, nice ones, so that we satisfy our customers. Yes, we have a lot of challenges here. One, the display that we are is not a permanent site, it's a temporary site. Number two, the place that people are coming from, we have a lot of products here in this Caribbean. Number three, we don't have machineries. All these things you see here, we made them by ourselves with our hands. That machineries, but still yet it's so good. So if we can be able to have our own machineries, I think we will challenge with our international brothers?
Challenges. Number one is we don't have an eyesight. As you can see the environment. So because of that, our goods are at risk. It's not good under the rain, even under the sun. That's the good challenges we are facing. Sometimes the test for foreign material of materials believe in imported furnitures, which I hit myself. I tell you, what we produce here is stronger than what we produce.
But so far, how long have you been in the business?
It's over 20 years.
Welcome back. You're watching Ventures, celebrating enterprise. We're talking to some young people who are out there in the field trying to become furniture makers and those who are already in the process of making furniture. Stay with us on the show. On Ventures, we always talk about enterprise and celebrating enterprise. That's why Mr. Okosodo is sitting in this studio on Ventures today. So you just tell us now, how do you see the future? Do you see younger people? Do you see us really capturing the furniture market?
Yes.
As you said, do you really see it? Do you see it happening?
I see that coming up. If we are being encouraged, we have a place to work. I believe many youth will be willing to come into the business. Before coming here today, I saw even ladies coming in to do the job. So many youths are interested, just that we don't have a conducive environment.
Do you see a school, for instance, can say, for instance, Idu Markets, the association you're in now, building, if you have a conducive area where you can build a school where you train young people, they graduate, they certificate, so that you have a certificate standards. We have to talk about standards if you want to compete. Do you see that happening?
Yes, it's possible, man.
So, but do you have it in the pipeline when you go to your meetings? Do you talk about things like that?
We don't have it in the general form, but
Yeah.
individually, each company you enter to learn, we have a kind of mini school, I call it. Once in a while, we call them like in a classroom. We teach them, this is what you use, this is what you use. We give them training, maybe every 3 months.
Okay, but the practical itself is only the apprentices that do practicals?
Yes, for now.
So if you're an apprentice, you pay to your master,
Yes.
and then you learn from your master. So how long will an apprentice last before they are certified as a carpenter or a furniture maker?
At times it depends. At times I tell my apprentice, I say, if you are a failure in education, you can't really strive in furniture. So some stay up to 5 years, they know nothing. But if you know what you are doing, within 3-4 years, you are good to go.
And you people, when you graduate them, do you give them a standard certificate? How do you know that this person has gone through the process?
Actually, certificate is not very important in carpentry. Yes, like one of these days, I was in Kaduna there. Some policemen stopped me at night. I told them I was a furniture maker. They said, no, I am not a furniture maker. You know what I told them? I didn't have ID card to show them. I said, sir, would you mind if I use this wood and start constructing things for you? And that was all. That was my idea. Mm-hmm. If they have allowed me to make use of that wood, sincerely, I plan to make a bench for them. Until making that bench, we tell them that, yes, this guy is a furniture maker.
Yeah.
So the certificate is not really what matters. It's your skill. If I give you a job, I'm not looking at your certificate. You should be able to bring out the design I wanted. If you do that, I don't bother your certificate. Today, people carry certificate and they don't know what they are doing. So our own, we don't build on certificate, we build on your skill, what you can produce, like somebody call it certificates, what you can bring out from yourself.
All right. How many years would you take before you say, I have broken even, I'm beginning to see profit from this business? Is there a number of years, for instance, if from your experience?
No numbers of years. Somebody can start this year, he will break, he will make it just 1 year. Either it's talking to you by the grace of God, I will say, God has helped me, I've made it. Making it still depends on the individual. So that's why I said from the onset, if you know what you are doing, you will make money in furniture making. It doesn't take years. Somebody can start in a year and you are faithful, you are good in the job, and you can be given a bigger project, and that's all. So it doesn't happen. Some have worked for 20 years and nothing to rhyme about, but there are equally some who have just worked for a year or 2 or 3. They've made money.
Right, so the final question I want to ask you. In the furniture making industry, then you now have to do interiors. Do you have to know a little bit about interior to know how to make a furniture that would suit a personality? If someone comes to you and say, make me, as you say, eleganza suits, because that is what is really. But the person now says, do you know who is selling curtains? Do you know who is selling carpet? Do you sometimes venture? Do you sometimes cross the line as a furniture maker to do interiors?
Yes, that's why I said, me that is talking now, I see myself as if I have not started. I'm still learning. If you want to be a good furniture maker, see yourself as if you've not known much. You should be ready to learn. So like when we first started doing this furniture, most of these things we see today, they were not in place. So every day I learn. If I come to your house, I see your house painted with white, I should be able to know the color that will blend. At times, if I see a personality, I know the kind of furniture that goes to that person. So it's something we learn every day. If you go to a place, you see an Eze or anywhere, you should know the kind of chair to produce for a chief or for anybody. So
these are so it has also to do with a little bit of social science. You have to understand personalities. You have to learn
adapt.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, Mr. Okosodo, I don't know. Do you have anything more to say? Would you like to tell us a little bit more about yourself before we round up this program? Would you?
You've already said or you introduced me. Okosodo Friday, properly called Okoso Furniture. I think many viewers will know me. I work at Idu Furniture Markets. I have a showroom in Kuje. I have one in Idu and another one in Kaduna. I think that's all about myself.
Thank you very much for coming to Ventures. Thank you for shedding light on the furniture industry. And there are so many industries like that scattered all over the FCT. And I'm so glad that you're part of this industry and you're saying that it is a venture that is profitable and youths can be part of this and make some useful gains from it, right?
Yes.
Thank you for coming on Ventures.
Thank you very much.
And that's the interview segment of Ventures. We've been talking to Mr. Okosodo Friday, who is the CEO of Okoso Furniture here in Abuja. Stay with us. We'll be right back. On Ventures, we celebrate those who are into enterprise, whether it's small, medium, or large. Today, we took a look at the furniture making industry, and we spoke to someone who has been in the industry for over 20 years. Thank you for being a part of the show. This is Ventures, celebrating enterprise. See you next week.